This week on the Retirement Quick Tips podcast, I'm talking about the best investment accounts for grandchildren, at least according to me. Now, there are lots of different accounts out there. I'm talking, though, about some of the more popular options, what you'd come across, especially if you get into the world of trusts. I mean, there's so many different options. So we can't possibly cover everything, but we can cover the most common types of accounts that you may want to consider. And today I'm talking about using an investment account for minors that is just a plain vanilla account, and it allows you to save and invest for grandchildren. Now, these are sometimes referred to as custodial accounts or UTMA or UGMA, or sometimes you might hear them called UTMA or UGMA accounts. They're all basically the same thing. And so they're custodial accounts. But basically what they allow you to do is if you're either a parent or a grandparent or another relative, it allows you to save, invest, and control the money until that grandchild or child or whoever you're setting it up for, until they become an adult. That's the rub. You get to control it until they become an adult. And so what happens then when your little grandbaby or whoever this is, it becomes an adult? Well, the biggest drawback of these accounts is that you don't have control any longer. And as a child gets to be that age of majority, which depending on the state is anywhere between 18 and 25. I talked earlier this week, the worst case I had of this was like on his 18th birthday, this grandchild of a client of mine, he had like $20,000 or something like that in an UTMA account. And he knew about the account. There was still smoke coming out of his birthday candles when he called. And he was like, I want to withdraw all the funds. He took all of it out and he bought a car for his girlfriend. And it was like, really? But you know what? There was nothing grandma could do who set up and funded and put her hard-earned money in that account. She wasn't particularly wealthy herself. And it was a sacrifice to put money in here, and she wanted to benefit her grandson. And I viewed that as a pretty good slap in the face to grandma to take that money and spend it on your girlfriend who, how much you want to bet they're still together or she still has that car? It's like, no, we don't want to do that. We want to avoid those. And that is why I do not like these accounts. However, they're so popular, and for certain circumstances, maybe you might want to still set them up. The nice thing is they are flexible. That money becomes the grandchild's when they reach the age of majority. So they could use it then for whatever they want, whenever the need arises. So you definitely, if you're going to set these up, you need to have the education and the teaching about financial habits and good financial habits and saving, investing, and long-term orientation towards not just like spending it right now on a car for your girlfriend, but how do we maximize and invest this for the long term so that you can have 5 times, 10 times this amount down the road when you might really need it a lot more. Now, popular strategy here with these accounts is that you can gift money into them every year. So a lot of people will gift, you can gift up to the annual limit each year. And so there wouldn't be any taxes on money going into the custodial account. Then any future income generated by that gift. So once it's in the account and you're investing it, let's say it has interest or dividends or both, that income is taxable to the child or grandchild, whoever you're setting it up for. And you'll often hear about this as a kiddie tax. And that's actually one of the drawbacks of these accounts is that the taxation, it's not the most efficient. It can get complicated. And if the annual income exceeds certain thresholds, then they would need to file a separate tax return for the child. So it can get a little complicated and messy. And again, that's just one more reason why I don't like these. But again, they are so popular. They do offer flexibility. I don't know so much for you, but flexibility to invest and save, and you can put as much money in there as you want. There's no restrictions on that. But then on that back end, there's no restrictions on them pulling out the money either. So I don't really like that. I think most grandparents want to avoid that either. All right, that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening. My name is Ashley Mitchikay, and this is the Retirement Quick Tips Podcast.